Start with you here. Are you giving Darnold any chance at outplaying Stafford on Sunday?
Yeah, a small chance. He did not play well, obviously, against Seattle in their two matchups this year, right? It was
Who's he? We're talking.
Sam Darnold.
Oh, he didn't play well against the
Rams. Did I say against Seattle?
Yeah. You're
Seattle's quarterback is Sam Darnold.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So Darnold did not play great against the Rams. 2 touchdowns, 6 interceptions. His passer rating wasn't good. He had the one game with all the turnovers. We know that. But I do think there's just a lot of other factors that are in Seattle's favor that he maybe doesn't need to. Like it's not. I always say it's not one-on-one basketball between the quarterbacks. Like
you really say that when it involves Herbert.
I do.
Like it's the most. That's when we hear that.
You notice?
Yeah.
But honestly, like they are at home. They have been playing really well. They are the healthier team. They had the bye, so in theory they are the more rested.
They have the better defense right now, without question.
There's just a lot of other factors that even if Stafford has a touchdown or 2 more than Darnold can still be the guy who wins the game and goes to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, look, chances of Darnold outplaying Stafford are very slim, but he doesn't have to your point. He didn't outplay him when they beat him 38-37 in overtime. He had 2 picks, 2 touchdowns. Stafford threw for 457 yards and 3 touchdowns and no pick. So Stafford's probably, he doesn't throw many interceptions, so I don't see him just throwing 2-3 interceptions. So assuming he doesn't have that type of game, Stafford's going to outplay Darnold statistically because he has to. Like, he's thrown it 42 times on average in these 2 playoff games. I get it, it was a blowout, but Darnold threw it 17. Their success is just not based on Sam Darnold. If he doesn't make turnovers, maybe throws 1 touchdown and, has a solid game, they can win even if Stafford goes off. Now, if they get in a shootout and he really has to throw it a lot, Coach, then the chances of him making some interceptions and mistakes are more. But I still think the proof is in the 2 times they played this year. He was bad in the first game. They almost won. He was bad
good
through
3 quarters.
Right, and it was right there, and then he turned it on. So he won't outplay Stafford, but he doesn't have to for Seattle to win.
Yeah, he wasn't bad in the first game. He was terrible. They had a 48 quarterback.
Right.
And threw 4 touchdowns. And that was the game.
4 interceptions.
Yeah, 4 touchdowns would have been a miracle. That game when we were talking about it, we were talking about, okay, is this the moment that Sam Darnold performs in a big moment? Because it was to kind of take control of the division and the #1 seed. And then we fast forward to the last game, and it's significantly better at the end. Obviously, still 2 touchdowns and 2 turnovers. You don't want the 2 turnovers, but it was better. So I'm really hoping that Sam Darnold can have a clean game and can get over this hump because he's done such an amazing job redefining the narrative on him and changing everything from Minnesota to here. But it's just so hard for me to think that he's going to be able to outduel Stafford. But when I look at Stafford's 2 playoff games against 2 very mediocre defenses.
He hasn't been good yet.
Yeah.
He's not turned the ball. He's been good at keeping the ball clean last round, at least, when everyone was turning the ball over. But he has not played his best
yet. He's not played his best against 2 defenses that, and we talked about this yesterday, with the defenses that Drake May faced versus the defenses that Stafford faces. It's not even close.
Yeah. I mean, here's the reality. The chances that Stafford gets outplayed by Sam Darnold in just this straight-up one-on-one basketball type of narrative is slim to none. Matthew Stafford is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold. Stafford has not done a good job of taking care of the ball these last 2 playoff games. And you're saying he did a good enough job taking care of the the ball last week against the Bears? No, he did not. He fumbled multiple times. He was just lucky enough that they were recovered, and he threw a bunch of balls that easily could have been intercepted. That's just the reality. And in these last few games, and I'm not a big fan of doing this, I'll be totally honest with you, of just being like, well, this is how someone's been playing for the last 4 games. Look, that means that that's who they are. But the reality is that over the last 4 games, including the playoffs, 9 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, 56.2% completion percentage. Okay. 11 turnover-worthy plays. Like, this is what I'm actually trying to highlight. He has not been taking care of the ball. 11 turnover-worthy plays in 4 games. That's a lot. That is a lot. His adjusted completion percentage is 66.9%. That is not accurate at all. That is awful. Actually, the adjusted completion percentages are in the 70s. This is not a regular completion percentage. Like, we know Caleb Williams is not very accurate, and his actually looking at a whole season, his adjusted completion percentage is like at the bottom, and it's in the 60s, and this is where Matthew Stafford is right now. So that it's probably one of the low. Cam Ward is 64.9. So it is not good. It is not good. And his pass rating is 85.2. But again, I only put so much stake into that. Personally, I only put so much stake in that because it always drives me crazy when people are like, oh, this team is on fire. Look what they've been doing. And it's like, well, it's only 3 games and we need to relax here. And like I've said again and again, it only matters how well you play against the Seahawks right now. I don't care about anything else. I don't care about how Stafford looked against the Falcons, how he looked against the Panthers, how he looked against the Bears. It only matters how he looks against the Seahawks. But I will say this. The pressure has been getting to Stafford a lot more. And that's causing a lot more disruptions. Getting him off his spots. But here's the thing that's so fascinating, because I don't want to play this whole game where they were trying to being like, well, Stafford doesn't or Sam might not need to. And it's like, well, yeah, obviously. So I want to answer this question, and I want to back myself into a corner for a question like this because, again, Stafford is a better quarterback than Sam Darnold, but Stafford has to go up against a significantly better defense than Sam Darnold has to go up against. But Sean McVay is a better coach than Clint Kubiak. I'm super high on Clint, but like Sean McVay has the experience, has been there a million times. He's been to multiple Super Bowls. He's a better coach. Jackson's been to Jigba as a monster. Cooper Kupp, all that fun stuff. Like Puka, Devontae, Stafford, McVay. They're just 100%, and their tight ends are just 100% on the same page, making big plays in a way that McVay can also leave the door open for many more big plays and big moments that I'm not so sure the Seahawks have. Not to mention their run game for the Rams is incredibly powerful. I showed the clip before that this offense is actually really set up through their passing game, is set up through the run game. That's why Sean McVay has 2 of his running backs, his 2 running backs, they're both 1 and 2 at the highest success rate for running backs. They're 1 and 2. It's pretty remarkable to have 2 completely different running backs, yet still have them be at the highest in the NFL and success rate. That's pretty remarkable. It shows you the power of Sean McVay. That really truly highlights the power of Sean McVay more than anything. And so that's what you're talking about. And so I've said this so many times, but this is now the peak time to say it. It's just like the amount of trust that you have in a Stafford and McVay combined now with an elite rushing attack and elite receivers in Puka, Devontae, and again, and pick your poison with the tight ends. Like, it's just you're set up to have great success even though you're going up against an elite defense. And Sean McVay has shown he can get after that defense. And even though the Rams' defense is weaker, Sam Darnold has clearly struggled with that defense and what they look to do. And it's been a coaching masterclass. It was a coaching masterclass in Game 1 and Game 2 against the Rams. I live streamed that one game, and it was just like it was a defensive coaching masterclass, a defensive coaching master-ass. Is there a way through that for Sam Darnold? And a lot of ways, a big part of that is on Clint Kubiak's shoulders. And I don't have that answer, which is why I kind of said that for the SE. In order for the Seahawks to win this game, I'm putting so much of it on Mike McDonald's shoulders to be like, control this game defensively, disrupt Matthew Stafford. I've seen Matthew Stafford should have thrown 2 interceptions if Puka didn't save it. But I saw what the Carolina Panthers were able to do. I saw what the Chicago Bears were able to do. You have the elite defense. You're the elite defensive mind. If you want to win this game, you shut down Matthew Stafford, you shut down Pukanua, you shut down Devontae, you outcoach Sean McVay. Sean McVay was thoroughly outcoaching McDonald for the vast majority of the game the last time they played. The vast majority. And Chula was outcoaching Kubak the vast majority of that game. But now we're in game 3. And so it's just like, what do we have here? But I don't think, because I think if we're being honest about this question here, chances Darnold outplays Stafford. Like, are we saying it? Are we having that conversation through the lens of like, what does each team need to do to win? Or we just saying both quarterbacks are balling, right? Kind of like what they did when they were talking about, can so-and-so can bow in a shootout or whatever. And it's just like, if both quarterbacks are ball and both quarterbacks need their team to put up points, chances that Sam just makes the play and Stafford doesn't, or, whatever it is, I just think Stafford is a better quarterback in the unit and the coaching staff and et cetera. We're talking about chances. You're going to go with Stafford. You just are. And this is what I've said to a lot of Seahawks fans, where it's just like, I'm a massive defender and believer in Sam Darnold. But if you're asking me to choose between Matthew Stafford and Sam Darnold, it's like I'm choosing Stafford. And it's like I don't even have to hesitate there. There's zero hesitation. Zero hesitation. And if you're now asking me to choose between Kubak and Sean McVay, zero snorts. Hesitation. McVay. But the way how you change that, because I believe that the vast majority of people are going to believe that as well, is by proving it in a game like this. Kubak says that's really cool that Sean Mack is an awesome coach, but like, hey, I'm about to be that guy. I'm about to be that elite offensive head coach. I'm about to be that. Sam Darnold is like, you know what, guys? You have a lot of preconceived notions of who I am as a quarterback. I'm about to show you why all of the nonsense, that all the conclusions that you've reached about me before, they're incorrect. I'm an awesome quarterback and McDonald. And I already went on that whole rant about McDonald before, about proving, hey, you guys are all about Sean McVay because that's offense, but I'm defense, and I'm going to bring it. So this game is exciting. This game's exciting. But even being on the road, I don't think that matters for McVay and Stafford at this point. Having loud, have not being able to communicate in a way that you normally can. Like, Stafford is an absolute seasoned veteran. McVay, Puka, like they're just all on the same page, and they proved that when they were on the road and they were lighting up the Seahawks. Then again, things took a turn for sure in that 3rd and 4th, but like, I don't know. They were able to stop. The run is what happened. The Seahawks were able to stop the run, and then that made things a little bit more difficult. Stafford missed a couple key throws, and, a few great plays by the Seahawks, and you lose that game. It just is what it is. But I remember after that game, like, as wild as it was, I'm like, I don't think you feel worse. You're bummed because you didn't win the game and you don't get home field advantage, but like, you don't feel like you're not the better team. And then they went on a little bit of a weird run, losing to the Falcons and all that stuff. And then you're like, all right, what the heck is happening right now? And seeing the way how they played against the Panthers and the Bears, there's this notion, and someone said this in the live stream, of like, man, what happened to the Rams? They looked like world beaters and now they're not. And it's just like, yeah, I get that, but I think ultimately they just know how to play winning football. They know how to make plays. And in these massive moments, you can trust McVay to do the right thing. You can trust Puka to do the right thing. You can trust Devontae to do the right thing. You can trust Stafford to do the right thing. And that's ultimately what matters most to me. That's why I keep naming those main guys. I know there's obviously plenty of other guys emphasize the run game and all that type of stuff, but at the end of the day, in these gotta have it moments, I expect them to all do it, and that's exactly what they all did in the game-winning drive against the Chicago Bears. They all rose to the occasion. Sean McVay dialing up the perfect play. Sean McVay using his timeouts at the perfect time. Devontae coming up with a big throw. Puka being wide open. Stafford hitting his guy, like, it was just perfect on perfect on perfect, and the defense even rising to the occasion and making a spectacular interception. So, but those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think? What are the chances that Matthew Stafford gets outplayed by Sam Darnold? Let me know your thoughts. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun and please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all generally feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're well on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much. See you next time.